In a small village nestled among the mountains, surrounded by a dense and eerie forest, lived a man named Salim. He was a simple woodcutter who left every morning with his axe and ventured deep into the forest, chopping trees and carrying firewood to sell in the village market. He lived alone in an old wooden cabin inherited from his father, and although he had no family or close friends, everyone in the village knew him and respected him. One cold winter day, with clouds filling the sky, Salim was cutting down a large tree when he heard a strange sound, like a faint cry coming from between the trees. He dropped his axe and followed the sound until he reached a narrow hole between the rocks. Looking inside, he found a small child, his body weak, his face pale, and his eyes glowing with a phosphorescent green light. Salim reached in and rescued him, wrapped him in his coat, and took him back to the cabin. The child didn't speak but stared at Salim with unblinking eyes. Salim named him Nadim and decided to raise him. Days passed and Nadim grew at a strange and unnatural pace, seeming to age years in just months. He learned to read, write, and hunt with unbelievable speed, and he was unnaturally quiet. But the villagers began to notice the boy's strangeness. Children feared him, animals ran away when he came close, and some began to say he wasn't an ordinary child. One rainy night, an old woman named Mujib entered Salim's cabin. She was known as the village seer. In a low voice, she said, "That boy is not one of us. He's a shadow returning from the forest." Salim was shocked and asked, "What do you mean a shadow?" She replied, "Long ago, your father made a pact with the forest beings, but the deal was broken, and now the shadow has returned to collect the debt." Salim drove her away, but worry began to grow inside him. He started having disturbing dreams, hearing strange sounds at night, and seeing shadows moving among the trees. Then children from the village began to disappear, one after another. Every time someone said they saw a tall figure with glowing green eyes moving through the forest. The villagers gathered at Salim's door and told him, "If that boy stays here, we're all in danger. Either you do something or you both leave." Salim returned to his cabin and found Nadim standing in the dark, silent. He asked him, "Are you the reason this is happening?" Nadim calmly replied, "You called me when you were alone. I protect you, but protection has a price." The next morning, Salim stood in front of him, holding his axe, and said, "I loved you like a son, but too many lives have been lost. You have to go." Nadim smiled quietly and said, "I don't die, I disappear, and I'll return when you call me again." Then his body turned into mist and vanished into the air. Years passed, and life returned to normal in the village. No more disappearances, no more whispers. Salim grew old and lived alone again. Every cold night, he sat by the fire, speaking softly as if to someone invisible. Then one stormy night, the villagers woke up to find Salim's cabin gone, as if it had never existed. All that remained was an axe buried in a tree, and underneath it, written in charcoal, "Nadim, when you call me, I'll be waiting."